from the faraway hills all the way down to here at the cliffs overlooking Scapa Flow are the peat beds we use for Highland Park distillery. And it's the climate around the islands that actually shapes the flavour of the peat, and it's the peat itself that shapes the flavour of Highland Park whisky. The peat banks here in Orkney vary dramatically in size. The one behind me is about 2 metres tall in height. As you can see, the colour varies dramatically, and that's based on age. The longer it's been here, the darker it becomes. I mean, it's almost coal-like at the bottom. It's very, very solid. The peat itself is made up of dry grasses and plants and heather, so you have all the roots that go right the way through it. And it's this bit here that gives us most of the flavour, but it burns very, very fast. So you have to burn it and mix it with the lower layer as well, which is more like coal, and it burns very, very slowly. By doing that, that's how we get the flavour into Highland Park whisky. So there are 3 layers that we use here at the distillery. We use what they call fog, yarvie and moss. We don't use the very top layer. The very top layer gets taken off and helps with regrowth of other parts that we've been growing, cutting, so that helps the heather recover and the peat beds grow back in time. This layer here is called fog, and as you can see, it's quite soft, it's easy to pick off, it's full of roots, and it's the roots there that give us the majority of the flavours, that big sweet smoky flavour that Highland Park is famous for. But it burns really, really quickly, so we have to mix it with the other layers. And as we come down the peat bank, we end up here at yarvie, and yarvie is beginning to get more and more solid. You can still pick it off, and the roots are still evident, but it's just harder, it's more compressed. And eventually, by the time we get right down to the very, very bottom, you're into moss, and that's solid. Again, if you work hard, you can still break bits off. They're very, very black in colour, and the colour changes from top all the way down to the bottom, getting darker and darker. And moss is effectively young coal. If we waited 10,000 years, we would have coal all over the islands of Orkney.